right, Mum. Block 14. Block 14 is not Old Maid's Puzzle. That's block 15. There's our preview. Block 14 is the spool. A bit messy here. Alright, these are our fabrics for block 14. White fabric, B7 and B10. Alright. Okay, let me iron those and I'll come back. Alright, they're ironed. What are we doing first? Okay, so this one has a combination of standard seams and scant seams. So we're going to have to pay attention as we go through. Alright, so let's put these aside because we don't need them yet. Alright, so we're going to do 4 at a time half square at a standard seam. Alright, so we've done this a few times. Obviously being straight matters. So we're going to do this. I think I pin this different every time, depending on what mood I'm in. Alright, let's... Okay. Now, same as we did before, we're going to make a little guide, or at least I'm going to make a guide. If you're more confident, you don't have to. And then we're going to trim them down to 2.5 inches. All right. Now, let me, just a reminder in case, yep, book's fallen. All right, so just a quick reminder, I'm not going to do the whole thing on camera. I feel like this might take a little while anyway. So, just making a little, I never remember which way this is going to go. Okay, so just making a little guide like that so that you can sew nice and neatly. I'll come back when I've done all of them. All right, if your pen is a virgin and gets stuck, just tap it down on something hard. A little bit of the chalk comes out and you're good. Okay, I am now going to sew that at a standard seam. I will be back. Right sides are together. Yep. All right, I'll be back. All right, we're back. Haven't mentioned it. I don't back my seam, go back and forth on my seams because you're chopping them off anyway, and so you've got technically unfinished edges. So I just sew a bit over. Okay, go in. All right, I like doing this with this particular ruler because we're doing 4 in 1. Oops. Okay. Definitely make sure you cut on the right seam if that happens, or the right line rather. All right. Okay. We don't cut with that one. I actually have a smaller one of this somewhere. I don't know where it is. But yeah, I have a small one. You can also use the small one. Okay. Cut. Take it off carefully. Turn it. Nothing we can do about the fact that it's slightly not on the screen because I ain't moving that. Line it up. Okay. Had a feeling that first one didn't cut well. Don't know what happens there. That could be a problem later. We'll deal with it. We always do. All right, I'm going to press these open And then I'm going to get my mat out and organize this. All right. I might zoom out a little bit so you can see, make that go there. Try and keep it roughly there. Okay, so we are making the spool. So it says this goes here. This goes here. Oh, I have to trim these down. I'm going to lay it out first and then I'll trim it down. Here. So we're going to trim these down to 2.5 inches. This one goes here, 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 and here. Okay, so obviously not the same size. We're going to trim them down like we did in the last video to the same size. Do I do this away everybody loves? No, I don't. Am I going to keep doing it the way I do it? Yes, I am. Okay, so remember, I don't know if you have a ruler like this. Oh no, you've got a square ruler, so hopefully you've got the lines in the middle. But we use the line in the middle and then we bring it down. So if we use this line here, got a pretty good line there. And see, this line's good and this line's good, but this line up here is wonky, so we're going to do it from the bottom. Well, I'm going to do it from the bottom on mine. You will do it whichever one works on yours. Okay, so we know this line here, but I need to be smaller. So I'm just going to bring this back over to about here, and I'm also going to line it up there with the tip because that's how we want it. So I'm going to cut this one off. Now, we know this line's good and this line's good. So if we line it back up, line it back up neatly. So we can tell, there, we're good. We have to put it. All right. So, good, good. We want to cut this off, but obviously that's a bit too much for me to not wobble on. So we're going to bring it back up to the 3, hold it down, cut it off. This is now 2.5, but we need this to be 2.5. This is a really nice point. This one's obviously not, so this is where we want to take the 2.5 from. So we're happy. Now, if I look at that, that's not going to be sitting just right. But we're just going to suck it up. There's probably a way to fix that, but I'm not gonna. So it's not perfect. Are any of my blocks perfect? No. All right, so you're going to do that again. Now, do you really need me to do it again? I can just show you in principle here. So, in principle, not a great line. Turn it over, line it up. This is a pretty good line. This is a pretty good line, so I'll neaten it from this side. So what does that mean? It means I'll come over, keeping it aligned with the bottom, go about 2 3/4 of an inch, line it up, cut it off. Spin it around. This line's good, this line's good, so the whites are good. So I'll line it up the top, for example, there. 1, 2.5. Is it perfect? No. We're keeping with a theme. We fix them up here. So in this instance, I want to take some off here and some off here. So if I take it from here, lining it up with the top and the bottom, then I can get a nice clean cut here, and I still have 1/4 of an inch on that side to remove. Flip it over, line them up, cut it off. It's relatively close to a tip. We're happy. All right, I've got, make sure you put them back in the right spots, which I just failed to do. Yeah. All right, so I'm gonna do these two. I'll zoom back out. I'm gonna do these two off camera in the exact same way I just did then, and then we'll come back. All right, I'm back. As I was doing that, I was thinking, what if I screwed it up? Because the more pressure you put on yourself, the more likely you are to screw it up. And we have plenty of fabric. Like, there's plenty of more of this to cut if we needed to cut one. And we know we don't have to do 4 at once to do this. We could have just done this as a single half square triangle, because we do that in the community quilt. Okay, so we're going to make sure we're orientated correctly. White, purple, blue, white, purple, blue, white, purple, purple. Okay, we're orientated correctly. Okay, we're trimmed down. Now we're going to use a scant seam to sew these together. Why? I don't know, but apparently we have to. So over here, which means over on my machine, I have just turned that to a scant seam. So you managed to get 8.9 on your needle. I'm going to try 8.9 and hope for the best. Otherwise I'll go back to 8.8. So it's moving the needle over. So starting with a 1/4 inch seam and then moving it over to 8.9 on the machine. Okay, so trim together using a scant 1/4 inch seam. So B7. I'll read that again. So the half square triangles, yeah, standard piecing, then join them together. All of this is now with a scant seam. So let's do it. I'm going to start there for no particular reason, then that's there, and I will be back when I have sewn some things. Okay, some sewing has occurred. I have pressed all of them to the patterned fabric, to the blue fabric. It's just more solid. All right, now I'm going to go this way. Okay, did my points come out perfectly? No. Do I care? No, you might. How are you going to fix it? I don't know. So better, cut better than I do. Sorry. I'm sorry you didn't raise me like that, but I grew up like that anyway. Okay, now, yeah, we're still doing a scant seam. So the seams, like always, naturally want to nestle at a particular point and then encourage them to where you need them to be. It's a little hard, at least for me, to tell the difference between the patterns on this one, but I think I've roughly got them. Mine like to twist, so I pin them and I put a little bit of tension on them when I'm sewing. You don't have to, you do what works for you. We have different machines, different fabrics, different everything. All right, I'll be back. All right, so this is where it doesn't meet. This one sort of meets. This one will obviously meet to a point and this one won't. It ultimately isn't going to make it look that bad. So I'll do the same thing, line it up. Pin it. Obviously them not meeting is going to piss some people off, and it may even piss you off. It doesn't piss me off. I think some authenticity in the human process of quilt making is necessary. All that's just what I tell myself when I can't be bothered and I've already cut the fabric. All right, yeah, I'll be back. All right, and there we have it. Correct, 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 and correct. All right, she didn't make an appearance. Okay, that is quite nice. I like this design and I like this fabric combination. So that's the spool. Well done. You've done half square triangles, normal seam, scant seams, all in one. Next, we're going to make Old Maid's Puzzle. Now this is going to introduce a new technique. We're going to do 2 at a time, half square triangles. We're back on a standard seam, which is nice. We're going to trim them down. Yeah, So much the same, except we're also going to introduce doing this with a smaller piece of fabric. All right, I'll see you for that, Mum.